Alright guys, we're back for a second video here on media literacy. So let's look in specific at some of these key concepts, break them down and see what we mean by some of these things. So the first one we mentioned was that media are constructions. Okay, so obviously you think of construction, right, as just a word. If first time you hear it, oh, construction is going on the road. Well, what's happening, right? Something is being built. And in this case, what's being built is media, which has a very specific purpose. Okay, so we want to think about the purpose, and we can also think about the agenda. Okay, they have a very specific agenda in creating media in the first place. Like, why did they create it? What for? Okay, so obviously we have a creator. Some of this may seem basic, but oftentimes we consume media, we watch media, and we don't think twice about, like, okay, who's behind this? Who created it? Why did they create it? How are they influencing me? And so on. Okay, so obviously we got to think there's a creator. You might say, oh, okay, well, you know, Nike created it, maybe, all right? Looks more like a pipe than a Nike logo. Let's fill it in. All right, let's say, okay, Nike created the ad. But it could be an ad that has a much different purpose than just selling shoes, maybe, for example. Maybe they're trying to increase their, charity image or something like that. And so they want to create an ad maybe supporting feminism or something like that. So Nike has an agenda for how they approach the topic. Okay, so we want to ask, like, why? Who made it? Etc. All right, so they decide what to leave out. Okay, that's called omission. What to leave out. And how to present what is included. So they've decided what, elements they want to include in their commercial, let's say, what to leave out, and then how are they going to approach that topic. Okay, so there's usually the how, the why, the who. These are basic questions. Think about your, news story kind of prompts. Now, based on the creator's point of view, so we want to think about perspective. Where are they coming from? And another word we used for that was worldview. Because worldview is a kind of more all-inclusive idea that can include things like, okay, what are their opinions, their assumptions, their biases, right? Are they atheist? Are they, right-wing politically? So anything that could have values and beliefs and so on is included in that. Now, because it's constructed, that it's built out of these pieces, these parts, these materials that media uses, maybe it's fonts, text, sound, and actors and actresses, and so on. So we, as the audience, okay, the audience is the we see media products are direct representations of reality, of what is real, even though they are not entirely accurate. Okay, so the audience perceives a description or a depiction of reality, which is trying to say, hey, this is how things really are. but it's not entirely accurate because it's constructed. Alright, so we mentioned who created it, what's its purpose, there's the why, right? Why did they make this particular ad? Okay. What are the assumptions and beliefs that its creators have, and how do we see those in the ad? Let's zoom in a bit on this example. Okay, who created this? Yeah, well, there it is, right? Nike created this ad. All right. Well, what are they selling in this particular ad? I need some kind of bright color I can write on this black. Well, notice there's text. So we're going to want to pay some attention to that. There's images. There's more text. There's logos. There's a logo. Here's a catch line, which is called a slogan. Okay, logo is the symbol of a company. And then you've got the slogan, which is like the catchphrase for that company. Well, we're all familiar with Nike, right? Just do it. Okay. Well, what are they communicating? What beliefs or ideas is Nike communicating by saying just do it? Period. Right? They always include that period. It's important. Just do it. All right. Well, no complaining. No excuses. Just, right? Nothing else. Just. Do it. That's the action element. And it has this idea of hard work and maybe grit, gritty effort, and maybe willpower. Just do it. Just force yourself no matter what. All right, a lot of stuff going on ideologically. So we want to think of ideology. We're going to get into this a lot more specifically later. But that's a way of saying the issue of the overall worldview. So worldview reflects ideology, what you believe. Okay, ideology is like a system of beliefs. I mean, it could be just random stuff that people all put it all together, like a pot of soup with ingredients. It doesn't have to be logical. It just happens to be what they believe. Now, notice the words that they've chosen. Most, longest. These are what we call superlatives. Right? If you say the most, there's nothing more than that. These are superlatives. Most aces, most games, longest match. Okay? So these are all maximum level words. And I think this is John Isner. He has like a huge, fast, crazy serve in tennis. He's a big guy and he serves like 140, 150 miles an hour sometimes. We see the ball toss, right? He's stretching up. Okay, so our eye goes up, follows this. And, you know, he's holding these records. These are records in tennis. He's got the best, the most. So what's Nike selling? Well, are they selling tennis balls? No. Are they selling this wristband? Maybe. This headband? Maybe. This shirt? Do we see a logo on any of that stuff? No. The logo's here. Right? So what are they selling us? Well, they're selling us an idea. They're not actually selling a product in this ad, right? They're selling an idea. What's the idea? Be the best. The idea is greatness. If you wear Nike, supposedly you're going to be able to get these records and be the best and be the greatest. Okay? So all of those things are here. They want to sell us the idea that you can be great just like all these famous people. All right. Next, the audience negotiates the meaning. So negotiate means there's two sides, right? There's two people, and I don't know, maybe he's selling a house, and there's another person here who wants to buy the house. They've got the money. Okay? The negotiation is making a deal between the two people. Now, what are we negotiating? The meaning of the ad. Because you're over here and you've got your ideology in your head. And the creator's over here and they've got their ideology in their head. And so they may mean one thing when they advertise, but you may take it a different way. You may doubt how they're portraying that, right? They want to get into your head and start to influence how you think. Okay? So the meaning is created by the producer and the audience. All right, here's the audience in this equation. Different audiences can take away different meanings from the same product. Why? Okay, because of worldview difference. So it could be cultural reasons, could be the time period, right? If you watch a 1960s ad, maybe you're going to think differently. You're not living in that time period. You're different, maybe different culture, different beliefs, etc. Okay? And some of the factors are things like age, gender, race, class, your social status. Those all affect our interpretations, okay? Because our interpretation is subjective. It's partly how we feel and think based on experience and exposure to different things. So if you go to another country, you see an advertisement, you may think differently than people from that country might feel. Okay, so think about that then. How would different people see the product differently? If you think about, someone in their 60s or someone in their 20s, how will they feel differently? Or how will men and women feel differently? How does it make you feel based on how similar or different you are from the people portrayed in the product? So there's a kind of comparison, okay, with the product, or you compare yourself to what's going on in the ad, right? And the ad tells a story, and you kind of think of yourself in relationship to the ad story. How do you fit? Next, the media all have commercial implications. Commercial here means financial. Financial. So they want to sell products. They want you to buy. This comes from the word commerce, which is to sell, okay, or trade. So of course, they want to make money. They want to make a profit, okay? And the ones making the ad, the corporations, have an influence over the content. This is what is being communicated. And the distribution, okay? This is the delivery of the content. How do they get the content to us? And remember, a relatively small number of people control all of this, right? What we watch, read, hear, because they are multi-billionaires.